ManicExpression.com.
Manic Expression, Creative Chaos. Yes, there is a DVD. And I would like to say up front, anybody who wants to buy a DVD, you don't have to buy it. I will give it to you for free. All I ask is that you pay for the postage. Creative Chaos. This movie was made in 2014, or released in 2014. It was actually made over the course of a year and a half. Directed by Decker Shadow, the internet personality with the best hair. The first face you see in Creative Chaos is mine. The first voice you hear is mine. So I'm wearing a Creative Chaos t-shirt right now. How objective can I be? Let's find out. I do love this movie. I do. I am very proud of it. I would say that this is maybe the thing I'm most proud of so far that I've done, creatively speaking. I was heavily involved in the producing and the editing. I find it entertaining. I think for something that was made with no budget, $0 was spent on this movie. This was made at a time when, I made the announcement, we're doing a documentary about Manic Expression, and everybody was jumped in and helped out and was involved and wanted to do interviews and everything. Which is part of the problem. I'll get the criticism out of the way up front so you don't think that I'm just jerking off here. Okay. The movie's too long. It's too long, and it's my fault, because I said up front, if you do an interview for this movie, you will be in the movie. And with one exception, there's a deleted scene on the DVD. One interview where the quality of the audio and everything was just too poor. We just couldn't use it. But with that one exception, we used everybody. And not everybody has something interesting to contribute. Not everybody has something interesting to say. And in the grand scheme of things, because today is Manic Expression's 9th anniversary, a lot of these people aren't really involved in the site and didn't last that much longer past the release of Creative Chaos. When you get towards the end of the interview section of the documentary, you get to the part where it starts to drag, where not everybody is, it goes from people telling you very heartfelt stories like Jockerly, that long-haired creepy guy, Patricia Miranda. These people are telling extremely heartfelt stories that really do resonate with me. And then you get to people who are just like, I like making videos. And it's not as interesting. And if I was going to do a producer cut of Manic Expression Creative Chaos, it would be about 10 to 15 minutes shorter. There's some things I wish I could go back and change. The narration is done by Oliver Harper, who has blown up since then. Oliver has become a documentarian himself and made some very impressive documentaries about the action genre in the 80s, the horror genre in the 80s, the sci-fi genre in the 80s. He's got one coming out about the Street Fighter II phenomenon. So we really lucked out that we got this guy before he was big. And his narration is great. There's a part at the end where he mispronounces a word. I'm not going to say what because I'm not going to point it out and then everybody will see it. You'll probably notice it. I was too shy to go back and say, hey, could you redo this line? You know, this didn't come out very good. It's just the one line, but it really should have been redone. Maybe I was too nice producing this. Maybe I should have been tougher. It's a time capsule. It's a time capsule for a website that, while still around, this is sort of about the glory days. And in that regard, I think it works. There's a member on the site, I love him dearly, hedonistic actor, Matim Ali, and he did a review of like all the Manic Expression projects, many of which he was involved in, including Creative Chaos, and he's fairly ruthless. And one of the criticisms was that it was very self-aggrandizing, that we made ourselves out to be the only safe place on the internet, the only place where you could go and be creative and you weren't going to get trolled and you weren't going to get attacked, and that there are other places like that. I'm sure there probably are. I've not come across them. It's all these years later after Creative Chaos, I've still not come across a site like Manic Expression where the community aspect of it was so important. And that's something that's, I think, for anybody, maybe even after Creative Chaos, anybody who joined the site would find it difficult to understand just how special this place was in the beginning. When it was smaller, when it was like 100, 200, 300 members, because everybody was working together. Everybody was doing crossover projects. Everybody was doing all this stuff. And they weren't making money off of it. In the early days, we were accused of ripping off what was then called That Guy with the Glasses, where many of us came from. Many of us started off in the blog section there. And I saw it as a completely different thing, and that was one of the reasons Creative Chaos was made. We were a year old, and I said we should do something special, and a lot of people were telling me to do a Channel Awesome style movie, and I said no, that is a bad idea. One, because really the biggest reason, the number one reason why this is a bad idea, we can't afford to fly everybody out and have everybody in the same place at the same time. This is going to have to be done through webcams. It's a bad idea. One member insisted on doing it, and we came up with the Abomination, A Sight in Scarlet, which I still to this day have never watched. But I don't regret Creative Chaos. I don't feel that it was us being masturbatory and patting ourselves on the back and saying, look how great we are. This was us really saying, in my opinion, look how easy it is to do this. Look how easy it is to not be a dick on the internet. Look how easy it is to just be a nice person and work with people and not be a jerk about it. And I do look back on that. Manic Expression, we ran into a big snag this past summer where we got taken down. The site, as it existed, was destroyed. And there's a whole story behind that many members know, but I don't really talk about publicly. But it boiled down to basically, we had a forum section. The forum section was getting spammed. Our host site took us down for copyright infringement because people were spamming us so much with like, download this movie here. And even when we offered, we said, look, we will go in, we will remove the forum section in its entirety. They sort of strung us along for a little while, but ultimately they deleted the site. It doesn't exist. We can't get it. We couldn't get it back. Much to his credit, Fusinator instantly he had a backup of the site from a few years ago, put it back up, and you know, I do feel like it's sort of, we're hobbling along right now. Somebody broke our legs, and now we're sort of, but it's a testament to the fact that nobody wanted the site to go away, even people who weren't using it anymore. I was getting people saying, no, bring it back, you gotta bring it back, you gotta bring it back. And that's a testament to how special it was, and is still. You know, an aggregate site where people go to post things is sort of a bit of a relic. It's not a thing that is popular. And by the way, as I've always said from day one, this is not my site, it's our site. If anybody has ideas on how to make it better, how to make it more contemporary, how to bring it into the 2020s, hit me up. I'm always willing to listen. I'm always willing to work with somebody who wants to improve on it, because this was a community. It is a community. I have friends that I made at Manic Expression that I talk to on a daily basis, and you know, people who I love, people who you know, I think of them as brothers and sisters. And I've never met most of them. I've never face to face met them. Some of them I've never even spoken to other than like messages. And, you know, I love these people. And that is a special thing. It's a special thing. And Creative Chaos, I think, captures it. It's also, you know, I think it's a time capsule of the internet at that moment, not just Manic Expression. There's a little segment that Decker does explaining what a troll is, and he does it as sort of a scientist who's telling you, you know, the scientific origins of what a troll is. It talks about cyberbullying, and you know, at a time when cyberbullying was still kind of a newer concept, and all these kids were killing themselves. Creative Chaos spotlights that, spotlights those kids, and you know, you could say, well, you put it in the context of how much better you are, how much better I am than the people who do troll, who do bully people and stuff. Yeah, I'm better than you. I'm better than you. I'm a nicer person than you are. I still, to this day, we've had the first troll president. Back when I first started on the internet, and I didn't fully understand what the concept of a troll was, because it was so brand new. This was only 10 years ago. It was so brand new that I couldn't wrap my head around it. I'm like, you mean these people just go online anonymously to be assholes? And to shit on everything, and every movie sucks, every movie's the worst, and it has affected our culture in a way where, you know, the last several videos I brought up Wonder Woman 1984. It's the worst movie ever. Really? Really? You can't even say it's objectively bad compared to, like, movies that are, you know, it used to be you'd make a movie and it was terrible and it got that reputation. Now it's sort of everything is terrible, everything is awful. You know, every movie, every book, every TV show, every whatever, you've got this very vocal group of people who are saying this is the worst thing ever, and treating the people who make those things as criminals. You know, Patty Jenkins is being treated like she murdered somebody for making a silly superhero movie. And to me, that's what Creative Chaos was speaking about. It was talking about, like, we don't have to do this. We don't have to do this. And it's a fight that I admit, at least for now, has been lost. It's been lost. When you have the first troll president, the leader of the free world, who is almost like a self-admitted troll, then the battle has been lost. But as long as there is a Manic Expression, there is a place for people to go that is free of that. It's free of the drama. It's free of everything, associated with trolling, associated with all that stuff. And it promotes civility, which does not mean it discourages discussion or argument. That was never what we were about. We're not about cancel culture. We're not about, like, oh, you can't talk about this subject because it'll upset somebody. No, you can talk about this subject and we can have a civil discussion about it. That is unique on the internet. There are not many places that do that. And I'm very proud that Manic Expression still to this day is a place where you can do that. So is Creative Chaos perfect? No, it's not. If I had even $500,000 to do it, we would have gone and we would have shot everybody's, the aspect ratio changes on the videos. Some people are shooting on a webcam. Some people are shooting on a better camera. Some people, their sound quality isn't as good. Some, we're talking about the light years have passed in the internet since we made that movie, where now just your camera is as good as any, people make movies on their iPhones now. And we would have flown out there. We would have interviewed people face to face. We would have, I'd be more selective with what we included. But that's okay. That's okay. People who say, well, what makes you think you deserved a documentary about Manic Expression? What makes you so special that you deserved it? What makes any documentary subject special? You can make a documentary about anything you want to. You can make a movie about anything you want to. We wanted to make a movie about this. And we did. And we did it with nothing. We did it with nothing. And the fact that this was willed into existence by dozens of people working together, I think is pretty special. So, Manic Expression, Creative Chaos, I give it 4 out of 5 stars. Not a perfect score, but this is something we're seeking. You can find it on YouTube. And as I said, I have many DVDs. We were originally going to try and sell it. We never really made an effort to do so. So I have a lot of DVDs of this. Anybody who would like a copy, let me know. And all I ask for is you pay for the shipping. That's it. The cases, the discs, all the work that went into it, I could charge you, but I'm not gonna. Because in the end, that's not what Manic Expression has ever been about. We've never been about making money. Believe me, it's something that I sometimes lie awake at night regretting. But, Creative Chaos, to me, it's something I look back on. I can watch it. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel good. Like, look at all these nice people, all these kind people, all these people who found each other and worked together and have this moment in their lives where they were creative as a community and it meant something to them. And will forever be proud of my having been a part of that. And I will forever be proud of this documentary. It's not about making us look good. It wasn't an advertisement. It was just about talking about this special thing that happened. And you could do a sequel now where you talk about how much the internet has changed and how much that affected Manic Expression. And I probably would be a little bit more blunt about behind the scenes drama and certain people, because we weren't free of that. But yeah, I'm proud of this, and I recommend it to everybody. I think it's a good movie. It's a good movie. Even says so on IMDb. So I will post a link down there. Everybody, feel free to check it out. Feel free to I will say this too. Little controversy, because people don't like it when you do this. I disabled the comments. And I get shit for that. It wasn't about the movie being criticized. It was about people being really, really ugly to certain members of the site. Certain members were being singled out for having conditions, health conditions, mental conditions that they talked about very candidly, and I was not about to let anybody shit on them for that. People don't like it when you disable the comments. I disabled the comments because Manic Expression has always been a safe place. Not a safe space where debate and discussion and things like that aren't allowed, but a safe place to where those things could happen and flourish because you knew you weren't going to be called a racial slur, because you knew you weren't going to be told to go kill yourself or whatever. And yeah, I don't like that stuff and I don't allow it. It's my video. So, check it out. Feel free to ask for a DVD and feel free to join Manic Expression. We're always happy to meet new friends. The worlds. Sort of gave myself the challenge of, okay,